So finally, we are going to speak about sustainable producer system innovation. Um, so this is, let's say, the core topic of our course. Besides a few other things, now we will be going to the core of it, even though the lecture of today will not focus on the design of the sustainable producer system. We will see this the next lecture. But it's important to understand why these are interesting offshore business models in relation to sustainability. They are thought to be win-win strategy since quite a while, as I was introducing you by a short history of design for sustainability the last time, at the end of the 90s. So already some time we are working on that. I will make at first a very short resume about sustainability and system innovation, just 2 slides. Then an introduction to sustainable producer system. Then we will see different type of sustainable producer system. And then the definition and the main characteristics. So if we start with a resume, what we understood the other time. We speak about sustainable development, but one very important issue, I remember that you all remember the definition of sustainable development that was sharp clear in your mind, but something that was not that clear was the dimension of change, the size of change. That by 2050 we have to reduce by something like 90% consumption of resources. Considering consumption of resources in industrialized context and considering the equity principle, so that everyone has the same right to the environmental space. So consider that there has to happen a redistribution of resources. And this what says to us as designer, but maybe not only as designer, we have other disciplines from Nigeria. I was studying actually managerial engineering here at Polytechnic now, many years ago. And that the innovation should not be, it cannot be only on product and process level, but even on so-called system innovation level. So we cannot consider just the engine of the car, the process or the product, but we have to enlarge to the whole supply chain, or the value production chain, or as Porter said, the value production system. So all the actors that are there around, we have to work more on a system level. So that was what we ended up almost the last lecture. So sustainable product service system. Here we are, an introduction to this. One first question is, are the manufacturer nowadays for economic and competitive interest incentivized in design, producing, and then offering low environmental product as the one that we just saw before? So reducing consumption of resources and so on. So the point is, I go on. In fact, product manufacturers are not all the time interested in doing this. If that would be actually, there would not be the problem of environmental or social sustainability based, okay? And so they are not economically incentivized in doing that. Many times it happens exactly the opposite. They are incentivized in the, for example, the replacement of product. They don't want very long-lasting product. If not, they cannot sell a new product. So they design for products that don't last that long, so that they are able to sell again a new product in a while. Think about the mobile phone you have in your bag. How much they last. But this is not the only, how many things. This is because they had a turnover, right? Yet they can sell another one after one. And other things. Said this, there is a second query. Do we know any business model that is capable of decoupling the economic and competitive interest of the company that is producing the product, the manufacturer, producing or providing, from an increase in resource consumption and increase in environmental impact? The answer actually is yes. If not, I would not be doing this course here. These business models are known, and they are called sustainable product service system. And they are win-win system innovation, and we will see why. But I start with a preliminary example. We have a traditional offer here, selling a washing machine, okay? And we have a S.PSS is the acronym of Sustainable Product Service System, right? Offering a solution to enable users to have clean clothes. So this is a joint venture between Ariston and Enel. Ariston is a food producer, and Enel is an energy supply, right? And they are offering this. Let's see what is the difference. So in the first case, the manufacturer is producing and then is selling the washing machine, and the user is paying back the washing machine, the cost of the washing machine. In an S.PSS offer, what change? Well, first of all, we have a joint venture between Ariston and Enel. And actually, what they are offering together the washing machine and the electricity that is used by the washing machine. And what they are paid, they are not paying the washing machine, neither the electricity. They are paying per wash. The final, what we call the final unit of satisfaction. What I really want to have is the washing machine or to have clean clothes. Alright? So there is a shift, a clear business shift within this. Here I want to highlight something about product ownership. In the first case, the product ownership moved from the producer to the user. In the second case, the product, the washing machine remained by the partnership. So the producer remained the owner of the washing machine. Okay? It's clear? Yes. Let's go a bit deeper into this offer. So actually, the payment is, as we said, per wash. Something, anytime I'm washing, I'm paying something. And into that is included the delivery of the washing machine, the electricity that is taken out from the energy bill, the one that is used by the washing machine. The maintenance and repair is included in that price. Substitution is needed, and the supply of the washing machine, and the end of life when the washing machine is not used anymore, is taken back by the producer or the supplier of the service, the joint venture. So here I want to discuss a little bit with you why the company, because this is the key point, why we are studying the sustainable product service system model. Because they are business model in which, for an economic interest of the company, of the alliances of company, they are interested in designing and offering products with a low environmental impact. Contrary to what we very briefly discussed before. Okay? So one company may have economic interest in reducing the environmental impact. So why they want to do that? For an economic reason. Now concentrate on what is paid. Because very change. What they pay? They pay any time they use, independently from the fact that they have a washing machine that is repaired, independently from the energy consumed, because these energies is not in their energy bill. And so, if we think about the energy, if I'm giving to you the washing machine, okay, you pay per wash, €1, 2, I don't know, €1, okay? I get €1. And then what happened is that I have to pay for the washing machine and especially in that case, the washing machine, okay, the cost is distributed along all the uses and then maybe for another user and so on. But the cost of energy is paid by me as provider, okay? So what I get is what you give to me, the €2, minus what I'm paying for the energy. Because me, provider, I'm paying the energy. Correct? You get a point? So if the washing machine consumes less energy per wash, is an economical gain for who? For the provider. Because they get more money. €2 minus the cost of energy per wash. So they are incentivized for economic reason to have the most efficient washing machine ever and to develop every time the most efficient. It's clear. So something that is not an interest for the company, not that much. Okay, they are in class A or they say something, but there is really a direct economic interest in designing and developing the most efficient, because as efficient as it is, and every time they can get more efficient, they will do it because they can get more money. And maybe they design so that you can disassemble the part that makes it more efficient and so on, what we said before. You get a point? So for an economic reason, they are even incentivized in designing the most efficient, continuously incentivized in designing the most efficient washing machine. And what about recycling? If they get back the washing machine, usually the washing machine goes, to waste somewhere. Hopefully to some recycling center, hopefully, right? Sometimes we see on the landscape, it's used for washing old machine. But if they have to get back, the point is, the company is saying, what I'm going to do about that, I have to take the cost of taking this to be recycled, taking care of this and blah, blah, blah. So it's a cost for them. Why not to design this so that the component could be reused in another washing machine? Why not to design this that the material is easily recyclable in other product and so on? So there is again, since they have to take it back because it's part is in their ownership, it's part of the contract, they will take it back, to design it in a way that is easily recyclable. So all the strategy that we saw before, or many of those, actually are strategies, life cycle design strategies, that are, fostered by economic and competitive reason. You get a point? And this is very, very, very important and interesting. Because we cannot trust that, there is wisdom, as you said, entrepreneur that say, oh, in the near future I will be, I will be the leader and I will be the follower and whatever. And maybe there are few doing this. Maybe there is some philanthropic person or entrepreneur that want to do that. They are really few. What is important is that if we find those business model or offer model into which for every company, For every entrepreneur, there is an economic interest in doing this, so in reducing the environmental impact. This is great. But we have to change the business model, as we saw in this preliminary example. So in the production phase, there is an economic interest in reducing resource consumption. In the use phase, there is an economic interest in reducing energy resource consumption, so, and to extend the life of the product, reusing components, remanufacturing, and so on. And in the disposal phase, an economic interest in material recycling. Here, I want to anticipate something, but again, I would like to see if you can guess something. Because we said that sustainability has three pillars: the environmental, the socio-ethical, and the economic. And we are tackling the three, thinking that the economic is very important, because if this can be the driver to speed up environmental and socio-ethical sustainability, that's great, right? So while the company may have an economic interest to produce socio-ethical benefits, where and how an S.PSS could be a benefit for social equity, for example? Yes, because they extend actually the access to those services, to those products, even to people that don't have the money, they so-called they need an investment cost to buy the washing machine. They don't have to have that. They pay to wash. This is affordable. Okay. Compared to the other. And if in this offer they are taking care of maintenance and repair, something like this is not the risk for them for the interaction of use, because they don't have to pay the maintenance, repair, and something like this. It's into the contract, okay? And as you said, the economic interest that they open a new market, even the entrepreneur. So the share is large. I have to add few things that to make a bit more clear concepts into this introduction. And the first one is about the involvement of the manufacturer into this process. I have here two cases of sustainable product services. They are car sharing. You know car sharing. Now, car sharing is a PSS. Not all the time sustainable. We will discuss about this maybe another time. But they have, one is called Zipcar, the other one is Zipcar. The car sharing service pay per time and distance, and the other one is pay per month, including energy maintenance and repair, blah, blah. But that is not really the real point. I have to show another thing. In the case of Zipcar is here. They are buying from a car manufacturer cars, okay? And then they are offering this car, saving, retaining the ownership of the car, making the car, car sharing to be paid per time or sometime both per time and per kilometers and something like this. So their unit of satisfaction somehow, as we said before. But they are buying the car. In the case of Riversipol is the manufacturer and is the same one that is actually offering the service. Which is the best situation in your perception? In this case, the first one, Zipcar, they are buying a car from someone else. Okay. In the other one, the same offering are the one that manufacture the car. So in the second case, they are manufacturing the car and saying to a designer, you have to design my car that I'm producing in a way that it consumes as less energy as possible, that is consuming renewable energy, maybe solar that I don't have to pay and blah, 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 because I don't have to buy the gathering and so on. So it's more, there is really a more strict and direct interest, economic interest. And it's up to the, let's say, the person, the company that is designing and developing the car and innovating the car. In this other case, it's not that direct. Okay? Maybe this car will look for the best car available on the market. Because if they say, I will look for a car that consumes as less as possible. Alright? Because this is an interest. You get a point. So it is consumed less, since I'm paying per kilometer, as less is consumed per kilometer, I get more money. Okay? Because I have to pay the fuel or I have to pay the electricity and so on. But there is not a direct impact on the manufacturer. So if there is no any manufacturer that is producing a low impacting car, the car could look around and maybe don't find anyone. In the other situation, this is really virtuous situation, because they are in the same position, so they have this economic driver here in the head saying all the time, you have to make the best car really consuming less energy. Because this is to make them to have the best profit. And they will say to the designer, I will fire you up if you don't design this or the engineer in the best way possible to consume less energy. And the best energy, maybe passive energy, so that I don't have to buy oil or other things and so on. You get a point? So as much as the producer is involved in this offer, it's better, because there is this direct interest. You get it? Okay. Another thing, but that is quite clear, it's more simple. But we don't have to forget, because many times people are speaking about system innovation, product service system, and then they forget that we have to design product with a low environmental impact. So this is a good business model, business offer. We see that there are different types into which the company or the manufacturer is asking to the design this to be with a low environmental impact. But the designer has to know how to do that. Okay? So the knowledge base and the know-how on how to design product with a low environmental impact. I made 40 minutes of introduction, but it's lots of knowledge to have to, and great and beautiful knowledge to know about that. But has to be there. So it's not enough to design a PSS. Then you have to be able to design a product that lasts longer, to know all the rules and the things and whatever, to design a product that consumes less energy or use renewable and so on and so on and so on. And knows about the life cycle, the functional unit, and all the other things, and being able to use a life cycle assessment tool and so on. Okay, said this, I go to show you some example, and we show you three main typology of sustainable product services. The first one is an example of Kluber. Anyone knows Kluber? They are offering lubricants for company that need those lubricants in their equipment to produce, cars maybe, or other stuff, in the equipment they have. But what happened is that they changed their business as usual, so they moved from just selling lubricants to adding a service. And what was this service? Well, they say to the company, since we know very, very well how our lubricant is made, because we are doing it, if you want, we can come by your company. They have a little van with which they go there. and they make all the tests and they make all the analysis to see how they can reduce the consumption of lubricants within their equipment. So how to optimize the use of lubricants. And how to treat in the best way the lubricants at the end when you cannot use it anymore, because after a while you cannot use the lubricants anymore. It's overused. It's unusable anymore. So since this could be many times even toxic, it's a cost to deal with this type of materials. So they are saying to the company, we will take care about that. One thing, I check your facilities, and I will tell you how to use the less amount of lubricant. Then I will tell you even how to deal with the end of life treatment, maybe reusing for some reason, or because they have all the knowledge about that. That's good for the company. They say, well, I use less lubricants. I don't have to deal about that. You are an expert and so on. And you could say to me, well, the company is selling less lubricants, so the profit is lower. Is it really so? Or why it's not really lower? They are offering only the lubricants, or they are offering something else, the service. So they are paid by the service, okay? But this costs more to the company? No, in principle not. In principle not. Because they are using less lubricants, there is a reduced cost for disposal. So there is the so-called, maybe the colleague from the managerial department can say, there is a gain sharing. In overall, they have a reduced cost, and this could be shared by the two parties. Okay? So the Kluber is offering the lubricants, but even the service for on-site identification of best use of this, and the customer pay the package. So it's not just paying the lubricant; it's all inclusive. Lubricant plus the service is the package. It's an all inclusive. As this is a system coefficient innovation, so it's moving from just selling lubricants to offering lubricant services, though the lubricants is sold. The ownership pass from the producer to the client. And basically, what we can say is that what changed is the interaction between the two companies. This is a business to business, right? Before changing, the type of lubricants or other things, or the modality, the processes and so on, what is changed before is the business model, or in other terms, the interaction. I'm offering even a service, so my relation with customer is different. And that makes the interest to go in another direction. So Kluber is not interested anymore in only selling more and more lubricants, because they get even the money from the services. So that's fine. It's even diversification compared to other companies, so that's good. They open up to a new market and so on. These as other example. This is the lighter type of sustainable product service system. We will see other two. It's called product-oriented S.PSS, and is a sustainable product service system added value to product life cycle. And in general term, we can say that this is a situation in which a company or an alliances of company provide additional services that could be, we saw some, but maintenance, repair, upgrading, substitution, and the product take back to guarantee life cycle performance of the product that is sold to the customer. and even use optimization. I should add something here, because that is the case of Kluber. So they are adding as a full package, all inclusive, something that is related to the performance of the product during the life cycle. So they have an interest when they design the product that this performance are performing well, even in environmental terms, or consuming less resources and so on. So we can say that it reduces the consumer responsibility in the use and or disposal phase of the product or the semi-finished product. Could happen sometime. And I underline here because we will see the next two type. In this case, the ownership is moved from the producer to the customer. River Simple, we introduced it before, as one very shortly, is in the UK pay per month mobility solution that includes, so you pay per month a given amount, and you have the car, including the energy, maintenance, repair, and the insurance. So River Simple is giving this to the customer, retaining the ownership, River Simple, of the car, including all those services that I just mentioned. The customer pay per month this fee. So we are moving from selling car, the business as usual, from offering mobility solution. We think in terms of final satisfaction. I'm interested in having cars, but we could discuss about this, or my own cars, or to move around. But again here, as in the other case, what came before is not, because then the car is an electric car, it could be powered even by hydrogen and so on, but at the beginning, the innovation is in terms of an innovative interaction among the stakeholders, a new business model. I'm not selling you the car and you're paying per month. I'm giving you insurance and other services and so on. So this is change. And when this is made, there is an interest in innovating in technological terms, because there is the economic driver that we saw before. Okay, you get the point? So the first driver is, so we don't start from a technological or technical innovation, but from a system innovation in terms of new stakeholder configuration. This second type is called use-oriented or sustainable product service system, offering enabling platform from customer. So it's a company, or it could be an alliances of company that provide access to product, tools, opportunity, enable to clients to get their satisfaction. So the customer doesn't own the product, the car, but actually is operating on the car. So it's an enabling platform. It enables you to use the car or to use the washing machine. Even that was an enabling platform. We will see another one, which is not an enabling platform. And the ownership, by the way, remained by the company to provide the service or the product service system. Let's see another example. This is Philips. They are offering pay-per-looks for life. This is for offices usually. So what actually let's say the Politecnico di Milano is paying, we're not paying the lighting system or the energy, depends on the type of service that they are offering and so on. They are paying per light that I have, access to the light I have per surface. Basically what I need to be able to read and so on. Okay? So what I'm paying is the final satisfaction, what I really need to find. And the rest remain in the ownership of Philips. and they are providing the service. And people, Polytechnico di Milano, if that would be the case, or any of your university, would be paying that or any company. So they are offering this package deal, product or services, to provide this agreed amount of flags per customer. The customer pay the package, in this case paper goods, and Philips offer the system to installation, to maintain the lighting system, to upgrade and so on, and to collect at the end of the line. So again, here we are moving in terms of business model from selling lighting product to offering light, the light that I need. Again, here, sorry, I'm repeating, but this is important. It is the innovative interaction among the different stakeholders that makes the provider and the manufacturer to design and to provide something that is long-lasting, consuming less resources, easy to be recycled, and so on. It's not that at the beginning. You will apply that because it's an economic interest. This third type, is the last one, is called result-oriented or sustainable product service system, providing final result to customer. So it could be a company or it could be an alliances of company providing a customized mix of services instead of product in order to provide a specific final result to customer. A given amount of light. And what changed compared to the other one is that, I'm not the owner of the product. Provider remains the owner of the product. But in this case, it's a full service. We are dealing about everything. Okay, I'm switching on and off the light, but not all the time. Since they are paid per lights, they will install system and sensor, and they will hear the light is all the time the same. For sure, if they have to pay per lakhs, they will check maybe with some sensor if the person is seated there or not, that these are lots of lights in that place where it's not needed at all. Maybe they will improve the system so that actually there is no use of electricity in that place, because it's their economic interest of doing that. Why? Why not? Okay? But basically the difference is that it's not an enabling, so that I'm doing, basically it's kind of a full service. To sum up, we have three types: product-oriented, use-oriented, and result-oriented. And somehow this is a scheme that was made quite some time ago in Stanford, where we move from pure product to pure service. And actually, we can report here, product-oriented is adding value to product life cycle. Remember the case of Kluber. Use-oriented, it's an enabling platform, very simple. We are anyhow using the car, although it's not in our ownership. And result-oriented, it's providing final results last as a full service. Okay. Now I'm going to give you a definition and to highlight which are the main characteristics. I prefer to start with the example, not with the definition, because the definition, sorry, was that you don't understand anything. And before the definition, I want to highlight even again what is the paradigm shift from traditional product sale. What changed? Are we selling product or only product? More we are selling unit of satisfaction. It's a new terminology, but you get a point. Selling a unit of satisfaction. What? I want to have clean clothes. I want to have relax. I want to move from one place to the other. That is, in business term, and even in design term, I will think to that. When we speak about product, maybe you realize we are speaking about functional unit because it's related to just one product. One product have a function. When it's a mix of product and services, you're more speaking about, it's easier to speak about an overall satisfaction. Because sometimes with a product you cannot get with just one product your overall satisfaction. With a car, without the fuel, without the street, without the things. Okay? So when we speak about system innovation or sustainable product service system innovation, we speak about unit of satisfaction. So we have to make this shift. Wait a while. Don't think so rapidly to the car. What a car is needed for? Or why? What are we thinking? We have to move from place to the other to meet a friend. Or maybe we need a car to get rescued by the doctor. Maybe we need a car to go by a friend. We need some car or something else to go to reach this person. Okay? But when you think in terms of unit of satisfaction, even the possibility of radical changes is much wider. Because you can even forget the product that is there and its function. The other thing is that, I take the last one, the customer value is not that much in the individual ownership of the product, but on the access. Okay? Now we are speaking some times ago that was even in industrialized context to say, oh, now I want to have my own car. I cannot dream to have. Now it's a little bit cheaper. Maybe you have listened. We start to be in a sharing economy. Okay, car sharing nowadays is not considered anymore as a low value offer. To take a car sharing is not it's valuable as many other things. Alright? Sharing is not anymore that. And sharing means to have access, not to have the ownership of something. And the other thing is the innovation. And that will be very important for us as designers. We will see, because what we are designing is not the technological or product innovation at first, but the stakeholder interaction or stakeholder configuration. You will be designing stakeholder configuration. Before designing the product, how I put all the actors together in a way that in which we can deliver sustainable product services, as some of the examples that we saw before. But the beginning, it would be that you won't design product. You will explore. You will design. You have to be. You will see that you will have to be creative in designing innovative interaction among stakeholders. But we will come to this topic in the next lecture about the role of the design. And, but of course, that is interesting. This has a win-win potential in relation to sustainability, because this is an offer model that is capable of decoupling the economic interest from an increase in resource consumption and environmental impact. So, but even there is an interest that can lead company to offer, because it's accessible, those product service system even to low-income people, so even for social income and even for provision, as we say later. Okay, so this is to make a scheme, and here blah 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 a definition. So it's an offer model providing an integrated mix of products and services which are jointly capable of satisfying a specific customer demand or delivering a unit of satisfaction. So this is the assess. In all the cases, we have products and services, but you have to design those together, thinking today and designing a unit of satisfaction to have things close for that person, for that context. You will design an eating system for the campus. You will have to think about that, the final results. And then what's around? I don't know. You don't know. You have to somehow brush everything out and rethink again. All right? Okay, so to deliver a unified satisfaction, and this innovation is based on innovative interaction among the stakeholders of the value production system, or the satisfaction systems, I call it. Porter is speaking about the value production system, since he's a good economist. I should at least, since I'm not. Though I've been studying managerial engineering, that is another issue. But it's not ended here, where the economic and competitive interest of the provider, the company, and the manufacturer, and so on, continuously seek after both environmentally and socio-ethically beneficial new solutions. Okay? And we will understand this last part better because not all PSS are sustainable. Those that we saw before, the three typology are, not all the other are. So to sum up, what are the main characteristics? They're actually all this PSS rooted in a so-called satisfaction-based economic model. So that each offer is developed and designed and delivered in relation to a particular unit of satisfaction, or if you want, particular customer satisfaction. Even though customer satisfaction is used by the economist in a slightly different way, but basically that is the idea. It's not that far from that, okay? That's not that bad. The other thing is that the innovation is radical, not that much, not at first in technological terms, but in terms of new interaction among stakeholders. So that comes first. We have to design innovative configuration of the stakeholders. Different type of producer. The washing machine we had, the washing machine producer, the electricity producer, but you can involve even the detergent producer and the supplier of water, because all that is needed to wash the clothes in a washing machine. Or maybe the washing machine disappear, I don't know. And then the user, and that's who's dealing with the waste management of the product and so on. So at the beginning, the innovation is in terms of innovative interaction among stakeholders. Then, of course, we have to innovate in the product, as I said before. And obviously, that has an intrinsic potential to be sustainable, as we said. So, if properly designed, this innovative interaction make the company, the provider, interested in designing, developing, and offering sustainable products.